Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Roberts is back here again, and today we're going to be reading a book about rain. So I brought my little umbrella to keep the rain off us while we're reading along. But I also want you to go and look for a little reading buddy. So you can look for a toy, a stuffed animal, your brother or sister, your mom or dad, anybody you can read with today so that you can talk about the story together. I went and found Sonic. So my kids and I went and watched the Sonic movie, and so I have a little Sonic with me today, and he's just a little keychain, but I thought he'd be kind of fun to read with. Okay, Sonic? Now, boys and girls, today we're going to read a story called Come On Rain. And in this story, we're going to be talking about what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. So I'll be stopping every once in a while to have you talk to your reading buddy to talk about what you have seen going on in the story so far. Let's see what this book is about.
Come on, rain. Come on, rain, I say, squinting into the endless heat. Mama lifts a listless finest sighs. 3 weeks and not a drop, she says, sagging over her parched plants. The sound of a heavy truck rumbles past. Uneasy, Mama looks over to me. Is that thunder, Tessie? She asks. Mama hates thunder. I climb up the steps for a better look. It's just a truck, Mama, I say. I am sizzling like a hot potato. I ask Mama, may I put on my bathing suit? Absolutely not, Mama says, frowning under her straw hat. You'll burn all day out in this sun. Up and down the block, cats pant. Heat wavers off tar patches in the broiling alleyway. Ms. Grace and Ms. Vera bend, tending beds of drooping lupins. Not a sign of my friends Liz or Rosemary. Not a peep from my pal Jackie Joyce. I stare out over rooftops, past chimneys, into the way off distance. And that's when I see it coming. Clouds rolling in. Gray clouds, bunched and bulging under a purple sky. A creeper of hope circles round my bones. Come on, rain, I whisper. Quietly, while Mama weeds, I cross the crackling dry path past Ms. Glick's window, glancing inside as I hurry by. Ms. Glick's needle sticks on her phonograph, playing the same notes over and over in the dim, stuffy cave of her room.
Boys and girls, have you thought about what's happened so far in the story here at the beginning? Can you tell your reading buddy what's happened in the story so far here at the beginning of the story? If you said that it's really hot and they're wishing for rain, you are right. In this story, Mama and the little girl are waiting for the rain. They're hoping for rain really, really, really bad. Let's see what happens in the middle of the story.
The smell of hot tar and garbage bullies the air, as I climb the steps to Jackie Joyce's porch. Jackie Joyce, I breathe, pressing my nose against her screen. Jackie Joyce comes to the door. Her long legs, like two brown string beans, sprout from her shorts. It's going to rain, I whisper. Put on your suit and come straight over. Slick with sweat, I run back home and slip up the steps past Mama. She is nearly senseless in the sizzling heat, kneeling over the hot rump of a melon. In the kitchen, I pour iced tea to the top of a tall glass. I aim a spoonful of sugar into my mouth, then a second into the drink. Got you some tea, Mama, I say, pulling her inside the house. Mama sinks onto a kitchen chair and sweeps off her hat. Sweat trickles down her neck and wets the front of her dress and under her arms. Mama presses the ice-chilled glass against her skin. Aren't you something, Tessie, she says. I nod smartly. Rain's coming, Mama, I say. Mama turns to the window and sniffs. It's about time, she murmurs. Jackie Joyce, in her bathing suit, knocks at the door, and I let her in. Jackie Joyce has her suit on, Mama, I say. May I wear mine too? I hold my breath waiting. A breeze blows the thin curtains into the kitchen, then sucks them back against the screen again. Is there thunder? Mama asks. No thunder, I say. Is there lightning? Mama asks. No lightning, Jackie Joyce says. You stay where I can find you, Mama says. We will, I say. Go on then, Mama says, lifting the glass to her lips to take a sip. Come on, rain, I cheer, peeling out of my clothes and into my suit while Jackie Joyce runs to get Liz and Rosemary. We meet in the alleyway. All the insects have gone still. Trees sway under a swollen sky. The wind grows bold and bolder. And just like that, rain comes. The first drops plop down big, making dust dance all around us. Then a deeper gray descends, and the air cools, and the clouds burst, and suddenly, rain is everywhere. Come on, rain, we shout. It streams through our hair and down our backs. It freckles our feet, glazes our toes. We turn in circles, glistening in our rain skin. Our mouths wide, we gulp down rain. Jackie Joyce chases Rosemary, who chases Liz, who chases me. Wet slicking our arms and legs, we splash up the block, squealing and whooping in the streaming rain. We make such a racket. Ms. Glick rushes out on her porch. Ms. Grace and Ms. Vera come next. And then comes Mama. They run from their kitchens and skid to a stop. Leaning over their rails, they turn to each other. A smile spreads from porch to porch. And with a wordless nod, first one, then all. Fling off their shoes, skim off their hose, tossing streamers of stockings over their shoulders. Our bare-legged mamas dance down the steps and join us in the fresh, clean rain, while the music from Ms. Glick's phonograph shimmies and sparkles and streaks like night lightning.
Boys and girls, I'm going to stop right there and think about what's happened here in the middle. Things sure have changed in the story. Can you tell your reading buddy what's happened here in the middle of our story? If you talk to your reading buddy about the rain coming finally and how happy they are about it, then you are right. Have you ever danced in the rain? What's your favorite thing to do in the rain? I was sitting here thinking while I was listening to the story about all the fun things to do in the rain. And I have actually gone out in the rain and played in the rain a little bit before. Have you? We're going to watch the rest of the story and see what happens at the end.
Jackie Joyce, Liz, Rosemary, and I, we grab the hands of our mamas. We twirl and sway them, tromping through puddles, romping and reeling in the moisty green air. We swing our wet and wild-haired mamas till we're all laughing under trinkets of silver rain. I hug Mama hard, and she hugs me back. The rain has made us new. As the clouds move off, I trace the drips on Mama's face. Everywhere, everyone, everything is misty limbs springing back to life. We sure did get a soaking, Mama, I say. And we head home, purely soothed, fresh as dew, turning toward the first sweet rays of the sun.
Boys and girls, can you think of what happened at the end of the story? Tell your reading buddy right now what you remember from the very end of our story. If you talked about how the rain ended and Mama and the little girl were walking together, then you are correct. Boys and girls, that story about rain made me start thinking about my own personal connections to the rain. And I was wondering if maybe if you could find a piece of paper or something to draw with, and you could draw a picture of your connection to the story on a piece of paper. You could draw a time that you've been out in the rain or a time that you've played in the rain, or if you don't like the rain, you could draw about that. That would be a good thing to do on one side of your paper. And then if you wanted to, you could fold your paper into threes. Watch how I do this. And I kind of make three pieces to my paper. So when I open it, it looks like it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you could find paper and a pencil, or even if you could just tell somebody the beginning, middle, and end, you could draw it or write it or tell somebody about what happened at the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Good readers are always readers who think about their stories after they've read them. And they think about what happened at the beginning, middle, and end to retell it to somebody else. Just like if you're telling a movie to somebody else. I'm glad I got to read with you guys today, and I will see you again really soon. Bye, kindergartners. And stop. How do you get to stop?